All right, all right, all right. It's time for the Midnight Society. Me and the professor are here. Oh,
Hello.
or should I say, Hortuber of the month? The professor is here.
Yes.
That's right.
They say
Congratulations on the big win.
thank you. They say that third time's the charm, and I finally did it.
That was. I have to sit there and say that this Hortuber battle, that is the biggest one I've seen since I've heard about this. There was a total of 59 votes for the first two people, and this is not even including the rest of the people in the field. I do believe it is the biggest participation yet on Hortuber of the month. So that's really something else. I'm not sure if it was because of you guys or was it because there was a $25 gift card thrown into the like yeah, everybody's gonna rush it over for the loot.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, here's our friend Steven, who's very worthy of being nominated for Tour Tuber of the Month, but I'm not sure who the professor is gonna nominate. Have you
Yeah.
put out your nomination video yet?
No, no. I've been a little all over the place, so I do have to record first. I want to make a thank you for the nomination and the win, and then I'm going in that same video. I'm going to record the nominees, but I gotta get on that as quick as possible so people can start voting.
Yes. Hey, Kevin, how are you? Rob's here.
Hey, Rob.
What's up, Pat? And my main man, P Mac. Uh, and Kevin and Steven here. Steven had a great show Friday. Robin Sydney. Wow, that racked up. I mean, last I looked at it, it was over 100 views and climbing. Congratulations to Steven and his hard work on making
Congrats,
that
congrats.
happen. Yeah, Women in Horror Month is now over. Whew, 135 and climbing. Wow, that's a big show right there. It's a big show. Good
Yeah.
job, good job. Um,
And
yeah,
I want to take I think I say this in every one of our streams, but I really want to take a moment to say that I thoroughly enjoyed your interviews for the Women of Horror Month. You had some banger of guests, and it was a lot of fun hearing their thoughts and their opinions on stuff.
I was really, if I would have had, well, me and Stephen both, really, actually. He had the Robin Sydney interview. Danielle Donahue has done pretty well. Jessica Cameron was on. That did really well. Yeah, I'm thinking about, I might have to go tap that shoulder myself because she was lovely. She was lovely, very generous, and I thought really she was a kick-ass guest. I might have to go. I might have to, go over there to Steven's house and steal that contact information. But great shows. But thank you, Professor. We had a, we had a, we had a great month.
Yeah,
Uh, we did. Unfortunately, we had a little bit too many cancellations and reschedules, but we had medical issues for a couple. One got picked up for a shoot, and the next day they're on set.
wow,
I mean, we're talking like in the middle, they're in the Midwest, and the next day they're in California and they're posting videos up, or they're shooting on a lot. They're it's like, holy crap, it's like that was really cool. Um,
yeah,
yeah, so we're gonna be rescheduling some of those guests back into the mix. Some of them might pop up in it might pop up in April, but if not, they'll be popping up in June for sure.
after
Yeah.
the convention and the rapping season.
Um, I'm gonna be doing in May. I'm gonna be doing Creators Month. So we're gonna be interviewing. We're gonna be doing some creators, some YouTube creators. So um, we might do a couple outside the box if it works out. But otherwise, I'm gonna be trying to interview everybody that's done has done YouTube, YouTube creators.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, we had
You
some fun
also
one.
had some good Twitch streamers that you interviewed. Maybe that might be an option. Tap that
Yeah,
market.
I might. It's funny is I actually was looking. I actually went to TikTok. And lo and behold, it looks like TikTok is now open to desktops because I remember trying to do TikTok before, and it wouldn't let me do it on desktop. I
Yeah.
had to do it on my phone. But I went over there today to check out our friend Alexis Iconno's page, and lo and behold, it was like it looked like I could sign in and participate on the desktop. So I'm thinking about doing that.
Okay. Do you think
So
that might be because of all the problems TikTok has been having? You know, that people are the government's going after them.
you know what? I was actually thinking of what we could do for next week. I have an idea. I'm going to throw it your way as soon as we go off camera here, and I'm going to throw it your way and get your input on it. But I might have something a little different. We're supposed to be doing April action,
Yep.
but I think we can do April action. It's just going to be a slightly different take on it. But I was thinking about it today, and I'm thinking, well, I need to talk to the professor, see what he feels about this, and then see if we can implement it. It might be
Sure.
a little controversial. I really don't see why it would be controversial, but it might be. But honestly, this is something that I've been thinking about more and more and more, and I really think that we need to talk about it, uh, especially in our community, because our community is also in the crosshairs. And if you don't think it is, you're sorely mistaken. Um, so yeah, I'm going to talk to you about this, and we're going to announce it. See what you think. And we might have something special for you guys next week. Um, Next week I'm on the road though. I'm on the road. We are doing the Midnight Society next week on the 9th. And then after the show is over with, me and the Cheetah, we are packing our bags and heading to Gory B Movies channel, because we are going to be talking about the Evil Dead, the original, the OG.
Ooh,
Yes, Evil
I
Dead
love that.
Rises is coming up in April, I believe, and so we are getting a little bit. We're jumping on a little early, and so we'll be joining two of our favorite people in the world, Gory B and Danny Nightmare. Hell yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's a
yeah! I
good one to
can't.
talk about. I mean, personal opinion, I like the sequel a little bit better than the first one, but the first one's still a masterpiece. It
Oh, the
really
first
is
one.
a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love the first one. The first one by a sliver, man. It's terrifying. The
yeah,
first one
yeah,
is so brilliant. It's so yes, I know it has a couple of interesting parts in it, but overall that movie is ferocious. Uh, just really balls out. I mean, I think what really elevates that is the one disturbing scene that everybody knows that I'm talking about. I
oh
think
yeah,
that elevates that movie. It elevates it to the next level to me. That's what makes it lit. That's what took any and all comedic parts. If there was a vibe into the first one, some people say, well, he was already starting to joke in the first one. I don't think so. You don't throw a scene like that into a straight horror movie, that you or a movie that you're trying to get some giggles out of. You're not going to show something that violent.
yeah.
Um, so
No, that's
I
the first one's a full blown horror movie, and then the
oh, it
second
is.
one is more like a horror comedy, and then Army of
And the third
Darkness
one's
is just an
action.
action comedy. So it's weird how it deviated from the first one, but yeah, no, the first one's definitely you got a lot of material to talk about in that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun to talk to with Gory and Danny, and I'm not sure who else is gonna show up. I don't think it's just gonna be me and the Cheetah. I think that we'll probably be joining some other special guests, but I don't know exactly. So we shall see. Let's see some people coming in. I see Casey's here, and I gotta give Casey a shout out. He helped me transfer my YouTube is now they created a podcast section, so you
Oh,
could put
really?
yes, you could put your videos that you create, you can convert them into a podcast. And so that's what I did today. I went over there and converted all my 8 questions with. I launched them underneath the podcast. I don't know how people are going to find them out. uh, I don't know how that's going to work. um, all I know is I did it, and I'm going to tweak it a little bit more. I'm going to put some pictures up. I put just that have Cheetah Will View logo, but I'm going to go back there and put faces of people who have interviewed, and so that, so that people can actually see there's a human face behind it. And then I'm going to put down each 25 episode block. I'm going to write down everybody who I interviewed on that block.
Okay,
And
I didn't see that. I didn't know it had that option, but that's pretty cool.
I
That's
didn't know
another
that
another
either.
kind of like media you can tap.
I hope that it's YouTube going to go out there and push it for us. If they're going to run it through, are they going to run them through, through their feeds? It's like, hey, you want to go check this podcast out here and there, and I hope that's what happens because I could, we all could use the extra views.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Also,
Steven.
if it's a
Go
new
ahead.
thing and you get it on the ground floor, you'll be the first one to get a couple of listens.
I hope so. I mean, I launched it today, so I mean, hopefully, it should start showing up relatively soon, if if it's going to work or not, because you should start seeing increases on view counts. So that's
Uh-huh.
what I'm looking for. Um, let's see. So and I feel like I owe Casey something anyway, because yesterday we ended up watching Amityville in space.
Oh, what do you think about that?
That movie was different. I, I, you know what you know what I don't. I always say these movies are bulletproof.
Yeah.
Maybe the movies are bulletproof, but us viewers, we're not. I don't, we're, that that one, I gotta admit, that one was rough to watch. Most of those movies are just like, they're just they're funny. There's some comedic moments in it and everything else, but they actually try to play this straight. They actually played it straight. They did not. They didn't camp it up. They were trying to make it. They're trying to mix Event Horizon into the mix, with a little
Yeah.
bit of the
Yeah.
action thing. I mean, the effects were still, 45 cents, but I told Casey, I said, this whole damn movie reminds me of watching the episodes of Laser Cats. That's the only thing missing was the Laser Cats. But yeah,
Well,
like Casey said, it was rough.
yeah.
They
In its
shouldn't have played it.
defense, I will say this: Amityville in Space is a lot better than Amityville Thanksgiving, which I saw. That one, oh, that one was bad.
Who did that? Was that's I don't think that's a Polonia, was it?
I don't know who did it, but I don't know how that got released. It's probably
Well,
the worst one I've
how,
seen, and I've seen a couple of those.
how does anything from Dustin Ferguson get released?
Yeah, but
Um,
yeah, at least I. It was a rough watch too, but at least in comparison, Space is better than Thanksgiving, so I guess
well,
it at
I
least has that going for it.
I'm still saying, I told Steven, Craven Something Scary. I told him, he says, well, what do you think is going to happen next for Scream 7? And I told him, I said, damn well, Skippy, Scream 7, they're heading to space. They're
Yeah,
going to be on the, yeah, that has to happen. That has to happen. They have to go to space. They have to follow the footprints of Jason Voorhees.
I heard
Uh,
now they finally pull the trigger and make the main character the killer now, the one of the
Yeah, you already
sisters.
know. You already know who the killer is going to be next movie anyway. It's going to be Jenna Ortega. They probably they did the same thing for Friday the 13th, where they made it appear that Tommy Jarvis was going to be the next Jason, and then they changed it to the next movie. But I could see
Yeah.
them doing this movie. It's like, yeah, why not? We can get away with it. Uh, yeah. So it'll be
Also,
interesting.
also wanted to say hi, Hobbs. I see you in the comments.
Yep, I see Hobbs there. Congratulations to the Reds. Great opening weekend. Baseball season opened up. The Reds won 2 out of 3. Give it up for the Reds. So that was cool to see. I'm not sure how many people here are baseball fans.
No, I'm not.
Um,
I'm sorry to say I'm not. No, I'm a basketball fan. I like basketball, and in the grand old country of Mexico, soccer's the big sport here. But
soccer's king.
yeah,
Uh, so we decided to do something a little different here on the Midnight Society. We decided to do Action April. Um, and we decided, we done some horror. We done a lot of horror. We needed a little bit of a we're gonna take it a little bit of a swerve. So we decided that we're gonna bring some action movies to the forefront for the Midnight Society. Um, Tonight we'll be talking about Flashpoint here in a couple of minutes. The ninth, well, like I said, we're gonna keep that underneath wraps right now. I know on the 16th we're gonna be doing Wolf Warrior.
yep.
And then on the 30th, we're going to be doing Killzone 2. Uh, and I don't know anything between then and now. We'll talk about it for sure. Let's see. Oh, 80 Sunday and 80 Sunday and subs was baseball theme today. Nice. I
Oh man,
saw. Every year they always put up the best baseball movies ever made by Hollywood. Um,
yeah.
and
I gotta say, every time I see one of Rob Sunday's videos, I get such a hankering for one of those subs he shows up. Man, they are freaking delicious looking, and we don't have that kind of stuff nearby.
um, Yeah, the only thing we got sub-wise, like that is Subway, and that's not really subs. That's
Yeah.
just yeah,
Is
yeah.
Quiznos still a thing?
Oh, I don't know. I think there's like a couple of hundred left. They used to be Quiznos used to be pretty good, but they never changed their format, and they just got ran out of business. They were a little bit expensive too. They were more expensive than Subway, and I think Subway ran them out of business with the $5 footlong. And once they started losing stores and closing down, then that's when Subway quit doing the $5 footlong.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And also,
so
for a while there, their publicity, the Quiznos publicity was really good. I remember it mostly
mhm.
because of the commercial, and the subs at the beginning were pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good place to go. You go in there and watch your sandwich being made. The bread was really on point. Good toppings. It was a good place to go. um, yeah, it was a good place to go. I used to like Quiznos quite a bit, actually. Um, I thought Quiznos had I thought they had I did think the Subway had a little bit better tuna. If it's tuna, I don't know. It seems to be tuna, but I thought Quiznos bread was really good.
Yeah, Subway. When,
Um,
when I go to Subway, the only thing I tend to get is the meatball sub. Everything else kind of like not that good, but the meatball sub still holds up from time to time.
does it? I have to try one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried yeah, I have to try one of those. Um, so so Flashpoint is wow, super. I don't know. Is anybody a Donnie Yen fan? If you guys like Donnie Yen, toss up a one in the chat. Who do you like better, Donnie Yen? Throw a one up. Throw a two for Jet Li. Three for Jackie Chan, and four for what? Everybody else.
Yeah, I've always been a more of a Jackie Chan fan. I think I don't know his stunt work, his comedy, reminds me a lot of Buster Keaton from back in the day. I just think his movies are just more fun, but I don't know. I always find myself flip flopping between Jet Li and Donnie Yen. Sometimes I see a really amazing Jet Li movie, and then Donnie Yen kicks it out of the park with another movie of his, and I'm like, oh man. And Donnie Yen was in Star Wars, so yeah, he's
Yeah,
freaking amazing.
he did Rogue One.
Yeah, and Rogue One, and I love that movie. Out of
Oh,
all the new Star Wars that came out, I prefer Rogue One the best.
what's really frustrating too? I remember how hyped I was when they announced that Donnie Yen was going to come out and be in Blade 2. And so, everybody was
I
talking about that. It's like, oh yeah, he's going to play Snowman and everything else, and he's gonna come out there and kick ass, and it's going to be awesome seeing with him with Ron Perlman, and then he gets like doesn't hardly get any screen time. gets killed right away. And it was just
Yeah.
like, wow, all that for that. I mean, come on, really? I mean, I like Raw. I mean, I like, I like Ron Perlman too. But come on, if it came down to a fight between him and Wesley Snipes, who do you really want to see fight? I mean, don't you want to see Donnie Yen and Wesley Snipes go at it? Because I would.
Yeah. Also,
That's the fight. That's the fight.
he was also in one of the Highlanders, and he was criminally underused in that one too.
Yeah. You know what it is? I think a lot of times they look at it and go like, well, we want the Hong Kong actor. It's almost like the same thing with independent horror, like they get that one name to sell the movie, right? So I think
Yeah.
it's like almost like that for this, it's like we'll announce Donnie Yen for our movie, get a ton of publicity for it, and then he's in it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but at least we got they'll complain about it, they'll bitch and complain about it, but we got their money, so what does it really matter, right? Um, and I think that's really what happens sometimes for some of these Hong Kong stars because it's the Kato effect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, from '66
Yes.
Batman. I mean, that crossover they did with the Green Hornet, and you see Burt Ward just like shaking. I mean, you can see it on camera. It's his best acting because he wasn't acting; he was truly terrified, and he has to match up against Bruce Lee, and you just know damn well Burt Ward is like, he's just squeezing his cheeks together, like, please don't hit me, please don't hurt me. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just the same. They're not fighters. They played fighters on the show and everything else, but Bruce Lee was the real deal. And then you see him and you see, the Green Hornet, the Green Hornet TV show. I mean, as far as action goes, it really was better than Batman, except that the budget was not there. Uh,
Yeah.
And so, you saw a ton of recycled shots, a ton of stock shots. It's like it's like if a Batman episode took, $150,000 to make per episode, the Green Hornet was made for like $10,000. It was really evident. But Bruce Lee was a badass, and they were worried about protecting Burt Ward because they didn't want him to get overshadowed. And I think that's really what it is with when we do martial artists from Hong Kong, against American stars, we try to make sure that they're not overpowering. Um, Scott Adkins, I mean, he's not a Hong Kong star, but look at what they did with John Wick 4. They put him in a fat suit.
Yeah.
I mean, Keanu Reeves is a badass, but come on, I mean, they made Donnie Yen blind, and they put Scott Adkins in a fat suit. I mean, they could not expose Keanu Reeves to a one-on-one fight with either one of those two and have it look credible. It just wouldn't work. People would not believe that he could beat Donnie Yen or Scott Adkins in a one-on-one fight. You just wouldn't believe it. And Collin Chou, who also is in Flashpoint, he was in the Matrix. He played the
Uh.
Guardian. Yes,
Oh
he played the
yes, that's
Guardian.
right. That's
That's
right.
right. That's right. That's right. We love our martial arts here. That's
Oh yeah.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And
So
there's
Colin,
a lot. Um, it unfortunately has the stigma of the company that released it, but for a while there, the Weinsteins were releasing these Dragon Dynasty collections, and they would release a lot of stuff that hadn't come out before, either new stuff or old stuff, and it would be packed with special features. It's actually one of my side horror projects that I want to get those Dragon Dynasty DVD sets.
yeah, I don't really see them very often. I think I've gotten one or two from the library, but I have not seen a whole lot of them out.
They they
And they're
they get
out
kind
there.
of they do get kind of hard to find. I've been lucky that going flea markets and swap meets and everything. I come across one maybe every 3 months. So I have maybe like 15, but and I don't know what the exact number is, but the highest one I have is like in the 40s. So at least there's
Wow.
40 sets out there.
Okay. Okay. Um, I don't think I think Flashpoint is a Dragon Dynasty.
Yes, Yes, it is.
Yeah, I believe so. I have it. I just don't know where it was, so I wouldn't look at my copy. I looked at on Tubi, but I do have a hard copy of Flashpoint.
I
And
thought
also,
I had it. I actually, I have a little section of martial arts movies, and I was like, you said Flashpoint, and I'm like, I freaking love that movie. I'm sure I got it. But when I
oh,
went looking for it, it wasn't there. So maybe I misplaced it one of those times I was organizing stuff. But it is on Tubi. So if anyone wants to check an amazing martial arts movie,
it
Tubi
is
Tubi is kicking it out of the park. Referencing back to baseball. Tubi has been amazing since it got upgraded here in Mexico. Just pumping out content like crazy.
yeah. You can if there's something you want to see, you're going to see it on there. It's amazing what they've been putting out there. It's just like I mean, talk about old TV series, ton of independent horror, ton of martial arts action. I mean, if you're into action, adventure, whatnot, I mean, Tubi's got tons of content. Of course, horror, we already know about that. Both independent, mainstream, and classic horror, all in the mix. Like I said, TV shows. I mean, you name it, they probably got it. It's an amazing channel, and it's I think it's just getting more and more popular.
Yeah.
It's a
Now,
you know
do you think do you think that if it does get really popular, they might start charging a subscription or pumping it full
no,
of ads?
no, actually, tell you the truth, the ads actually seem to be less now than it used to be. I mean, now, yes. I mean, before there'd be middle of a movie, and they'll stop and they'll throw like 2, 3, 4 minutes of ads in there. Now it's like less than 60 seconds,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
two little ads, and they're back to the movie. I mean, it's so fast.
Yeah, I
And
got a little one, and it wasn't advertising anything except Tubi. Where I was watching Flashpoint, and I got to the middle, and I got a little ad advertising Tubi. But I was like, well, that makes sense. They're promoting themselves.
yeah, and I'm more power to them. And I know we all promote Tubi here.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to get back to my Tubi series that I got started because of thanks to our friend the Bat Al Lucard. I want to get back into it. I really enjoy doing it. Uh, but uh but yeah, it have a lot of cool shit on there, and so neat to get so cool to see a show like a movie like a Flashpoint pop up there, and it's like, hell yeah, this is a fun movie.
Also, high
um
voltage. We talked about that one, and
yeah,
if new people are coming into this and they haven't seen high voltage, that's another one that we talked
highly
about. That
recommend.
also very recommended.
Yes, very recommended. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, and oh, that leads to another thing we should talk about too. Holy cow, we're okay. This is fun. Actually, this is really fun. So we've been hearing rumors. I don't know. I don't know if you heard the same rumors I did, but I heard some rumors about Dollar Tree. There's a couple of really active channels on Instagram and YouTube that they just go around to all the Dollar Tree stores, and they buy a lot of the movies and for trade. It's like
Uh-huh.
they'll sit there and show the movies that the store has, and it's like, is there anything you see that you want? They will buy the movie, and then you can either buy the movie from them for probably a little bit, or you could trade. And last Black Friday, Dollar Tree dropped all their movies off early. Holy shit, they dropped their movies off early. Last year it wasn't until like middle of December before they dropped them off, but this year they dropped them off dead on Black Friday, and they dropped a ton of movies. Wow, they dropped a lot. They dropped a lot. Um,
Yeah,
so
the one series of drops that I saw a lot of people pick up that I actively hunted for was when they started dropping the Shudder titles, but I never found a
well,
single one of those. So
yeah, I didn't find that many either. I did not find that many either. I found a few, but not as many as I had hoped for. I was like that. Like for me, it was like what I look for when I'm looking for Dollar Trees. I always want to see what kind of TV shows are dropping. I mean, those when they drop those, that makes me really jacked up. I'm like, All right, let's go hunting. Let's saddle up and go. Um, but the movies that they had this year, people picked over them really bad, and normally they sell out. No,
Yeah.
normally when they come out and they sell out. I think it's a combination of $1.25 versus a dollar, and I think also too is that once everybody swept through them and got the good ones, that the old ones just sat there and nobody was interested in them, and they just sat there and they just sat there and they just sat there. And so I think Dollar Tree, it's not that people are not interested in buying the movies. They are. They're just not interested in buying what's on the shelf. It's like, okay, like once January comes around or February comes around and you still got the same old shit, to me it's like, okay, that's when you pull your old stock, you pull it, and then you do another wave. I don't know what you do with the ones you got, but I do know that no one's buying them.
Well, I
But
haven't gone to a Dollar Tree lately, but one of my friends does also do the Dollar Tree hunting, and at two of his locations in West Virginia, they had a 2-for-1 sale because they're trying to get rid of their stock there. So they were doing a 2-for-1 sale.
that's what I heard too. I was gonna go down today. I'm not. I'm gonna go down tomorrow. I'm gonna go down tomorrow and see what it looks like at my two stores, if they doing the 2-for-1s. But what I heard was from one of these guys that makes honey at Dollar Tree. Pretty much, they do it all full time. They heard that once the movies are gone, that might be it. Dollar Tree might not carry movies after this.
Oh no!
Yes, that's what we're hearing. Um, and I'm really hoping that that's really not the case. I'm really hoping that isn't the case at all. Because that would really be a bummer because it's one of the places like a lot of people hunt for bargain movies to build up a collection or
Yeah,
whatnot. Of course, it's the basis for Dollar Tree Theater too. Thanks to Hobbs Horror for that, by the way.
yeah,
Dollar
yeah,
Tree Theater is brought to you by Hobbs Horror. Um, so I'm hoping against hope that that's not the case. I'm hoping against hope that they'll do the 2-for-1, get rid of the junk out of the stores, and then bring in the next wave. People want the movies, they just don't want the ones you have. That's that's
yeah.
that's all. That's all. I mean, it's not like people are sitting there going like, we're not buying any more movies anymore. You just didn't have anything people wanted. You have to move
Yeah.
out the old. You have to move out the old merchandise to bring in the fresh merchandise.
Yeah, because every time I've gone to the two stores that I can frequent, they always have that 4 shark movie pack that every store has, and they still have a bunch of Christmas movies I've already bought. So I don't usually see anything new pop in at the stores.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if we're gonna find anything new tomorrow or not, but we're gonna go up there and take a look at it. We're definitely gonna take a look at it. I actually went up to the library again after Tuesday. I went on Thursday. I was really curious to see, like we were talking about putting stuff on the shelves, and do they put everything they have on the shelves, or do they hold some back for other people? So I was really curious about that. So I went up to the library on Thursday to see, and lo and behold, sure enough, there was some stuff that was not out there on Tuesday. They put it out between Tuesday and when I got there. Nothing super spectacular. Um, not super spectacular. Uh, 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 hi Anthony. Oh, God, let me look at the chat here. Let's
Yep,
see.
yep.
We're doing good. He's down to 761. Well, you'll get him back, Anthony.
Yeah,
Anthony is a machine.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yes, he is. I mean, I try to post as many people as I can, but Anthony's like, hold my beer. He pumps out everyone, and he really is
everybody.
the MVP of sharing people out.
Definitely. Nice shout out too. We get to hype up our girl Katie too. Our girl Katie popping the popcorn. She crossed the
Yes,
500 mark. So congratulations to Katie. Uh,
congrats.
uh, Yes, long time coming, well deserved. Um, definitely want to give her a shout out. After a very slow run, our friend Steven from House of Horrors, he is now pretty much well on his way to 600.
Nice,
600.
nice.
Yes, yes. I'm very happy about that. Mr.
I
Bones
I think
crushed 900.
JT's horror discussions was also getting close to 600.
Wow. Everybody seems to be really gaining a lot. Um, I like I said, I noticed that I noticed that there's a lot of people really just flying up there now. The numbers are really good.
Yeah.
V past 500. Call me V past 500.
Echo finally
I
got
think I know the
200.
reason, but I think I know the reason why V crossed over 500 so fast for that last push. So rumor has it, not rumor, but this is fact actually, Professor, that our good friend Hobbs Horror will be visiting Call Me V, and she will be interviewing our friend Hobbs Horror.
Oh,
Yes, not interviewing by me. I'm not interviewing him. I didn't get him. John Doomsday didn't get him. House of Horrors didn't get him. Nobody got him except for Call Me V. So Hobbs is going to be going on the show and doing the interview. It's
nice.
gonna be pretty hype. I'm thinking. I can't wait to see what kind of questions she asks Hobbs. I'm gonna try to smuggle in a couple of football questions in there, but but he'll never see them coming. That's for sure.
I
Oh,
love Hobbs really loves my hot shot, so I think I might pop in and throw some his way too.
let's see who else has been doing really well. Like besides Kevin in here, Kevin's doing really well. Rob's vintage video,
Yeah.
always coming in full support. Yeah, I hung out today with I guess today's WrestleMania. Did you know that?
Yes, and started yesterday,
You
and today's
did?
the last day. I saw the highlights, and the one that I really enjoyed was the Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair fight, and the big payoff was those versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That was a lot of fun too.
So are they gonna? Is Roman Reigns gonna drop the belt for a change? Like, hasn't he had it for almost like 2 years already and everything?
Well, I would think so, because again, the Usos finally lost their title, so I think this might be the end for the Bloodline, and he might take a break from wrestling, was what I heard.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Put the belt on. Let Cody hold the belt for a while, and yeah, that'll be interesting. I
Unless
didn't
they
even
do
know
a
it was WrestleMania. I did not know it
Yeah,
was
unless they do a
WrestleMania.
swerve and he keeps it somehow.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was WrestleMania. I really didn't. I was like, and then I was watching Master Chaos, and they were doing a wrestling theme show, and everybody was coming up and dressing up, and in the costumes and makeup and all that. And then they actually had one guy named he's calling himself Jimmy Powers, Jim
Yeah.
Powers. I'm going like, oh shit, really? And I was like, that is so cool because I had to throw out the young stallions, Jim Powers and Paul Roma. Uh,
Yeah.
they were,
Actually,
yeah,
I saw. I was out and about yesterday, so I got home and on TikTok they had a good chunk of the matches. That's where I saw the highlights. And yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get, because you can't upload anything like that on YouTube. The minute that you upload anything wrestling related, WWE takes it down really fast. But some of the matches are in TikTok somehow.
wow, yeah, because they're probably a little bit more lenient with their, the WWE can cry about it, but it all depends on what TikTok, how fast they want to take it down or not. They might just sit there and say, yeah, we'll get to it, we're not going to do it right away,
Yeah.
we'll get to it. So, hey, Star Lord, how are you?
Hello.
Holy God, Professor, we've been just chit chatting for about anything and everything for 40 minutes. We probably should get to the movie before too
Oh
much
yeah.
longer, because I'm sure people are sitting there going like, "When are you guys going to shut the hell up and start talking about the movie?" And you would be right. So Flashpoint came out in 2007.
Yes.
It is set in modern day Hong Kong, or I don't know if it's Hong Kong or mainstream China. I will say that
I think it's Hong Kong.
I will say
Yeah,
what's
because
one thing really cool about uh-huh. Yeah, Kevin.
no,
Oh
I
yeah,
was gonna
the
say
movie.
I think it's again, I might be wrong, but I think it's set during the time because you know how Hong Kong there was a period there that was part of I think the Great Britain, but it was gonna go back to China, so they had this whole
Right.
transition thing. I think it's set up during that time period. I guess.
Yeah, I think it's right close where they're gonna return to Hong Kong to China, 2007. So,
Yep.
the movie opens up. It opens up, with a pretty much with a bang. We see three criminal brothers. Uh, let's see, Archer. I got my notes here. Archer, Tony, and Tiger. I don't know why, but when they said that, it made me laugh because I'm going, Archer, Tony, the Tiger. I was like Tony the Tiger. So they're criminals. They're master. They're master criminals. They're running a lot of they have gang activity and everything else. And
And they
they
are
move
these people are cold hearted. They don't give a qualm
on.
about messing anyone up. They
No,
are the definition of criminals.
yeah. There's nothing redeeming about any of these guys, and they definitely get what they deserve. Um, but the movie opens up and we see these guys. They're trying to make a deal with another criminal gang led by a guy named Sam. Um, and so they're trying to negotiate a deal at a nightclub. And we see all the three brothers. In fact, they have freeze frame on all the bad guys. All the major
Yeah.
players. We know that who they are. The three brothers. There's Sam, and there's another guy there, one of the right hand man guys named Wilson. He's like a muscle for the right hand, for the three brothers.
Yeah.
So they're at a nightclub and they're dancing with all the girls and stuff like that. And the guys are talking and laughing. They're all having a good time. And then one of the brothers, he gets sort of like he gets, I think it was Tiger. Yeah, it's Tiger. He gets cock blocked by some dancer. He comes over there and starts making moves, and so Tiger goes back to the table, and it looks everything's looking all cool, and then Tiger takes out and whips out a champagne bottle and throws it upside the head of the dancer. That was sort of messed up. That was definitely messed up. Um,
Yeah. Especially
yeah, it
the
was
sound
definitely.
that it makes when it hits him in the head because
Oh,
it doesn't shatter. It's like it stays in one piece, but it just ruins the guy's head.
yeah, the thing is, though, they show him being hit upside the head, but they don't necessarily show the guy afterwards because like I'm thinking that guy's melon is probably it's probably split open. But
Yeah.
just then, the cops burst in, led by our good friend Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen comes in, and he is Ma. He plays Ma, Sergeant Ma, Lieutenant Ma. That's who he appears, and he's going to go ahead and arrest all the brothers. And then their right hand guy named Wilson stands up there, and he goes in front of Donnie Yen, and he starts talking a little bit of trash. So as that happens, Donnie Yen immediately, the guy's smoking, and he's blowing smoke in front of Donnie Yen's face. So Donnie Yen slaps the smoke out of his mouth and slaps slaps him down to the ground. Picks him up there and throws a armbar on him. That's right. Donnie Yen is showing off some mixed martial arts skills. Um, First time I saw him do that. I've never seen Donnie Yen do mixed martial arts before. He's been always just been straight traditional. But he threw, I mean, it looks straight out of UFC. Armbar
Oh yeah.
takedown. Oh my gosh. And it looked painful. It definitely looked painful. That's for sure. Um, yeah, he was.
Yeah. Right. Wilson couldn't take it, and he tapped out really quick because
That's right. He did.
that not only was the landing, but also the armbar.
Star Lord says that Tony the Tiger is cold like frosted flakes. Hell yeah, that's a good comparison. Um, so we see that they take everybody in. They already takes everybody in. They have to take Wilson in because he got mugged up a little bit. So then we find out that Donnie Yen gets put in front of a trial board, and they're complaining about him being a little bit too rough, because he's roughing up suspects, and he's not subtle. If you're a bad guy and he catches you do something bad, you're gonna get beat down before you get taken downtown. Beat down
Yeah,
downtown.
that
That's
and that's something that I was thinking that's the kind of thing that won't fly in the U.S. That's the kind of thing that would get you into deep trouble.
Yeah. If there's cameras there, if there's not cameras there, then the cops here, they do the same shit. They do the same thing. But at least we know Donnie Yen is a virtuous cop. He's after
Yeah,
I would say just like the real cops, no
but he's
doubt.
got
No.
you can tell he has some serious anger issues. He tries
Mm.
to keep it in check, but you can tell he's a mad boy.
Yeah, he's frustrated by the crime and everything else. He definitely wants to know that if he catches you, he wants you to know that when you get that beating, is he really wants you to think about what you're going to be doing after you get out of the hospital and then out of jail. Like, do you really want to run the run? Do you want to continue down this pathway where you don't know what you're going to see, and you certainly don't want to see him again, or do you want to take the second chance that you've been giving and try to live a normal life? I would very much tell these people to go for the real regular life. Don't run across Donnie Yen again. Um, so
No,
he gets
no.
he gets called out to the
He's like uh
carpet.
he's like one suspension away from becoming the Punisher.
No doubt. So he does get reprimanded, though. He gets in trouble. He does get in trouble. They're telling, hey, but and the thing is too is that he had to fight his Wilson. We find out is actually Donnie Yen's partner. So when they had the fight in the nightclub, it was just it was there just to help put Wilson over. But of course, it sort of fucked up
Yeah,
Wilson too because an armbar is just something you can't do that very lightly. You gotta it's gonna hurt. And so so he does it for Wilson, and it's rough, but it puts him over. It puts him over, so the three brothers
yeah,
know that Wilson's part of their crew. He stood up there. He got in the nose of the cop, and it looks like he's a solid with them. He's definitely has the criminal the mind behind it. And Wilson, whew, they put him in some tight spots. They really did. They put him in some tight spots where they were trying to prove, see how where his loyalties lied. And he got asked to do some scary ass shit, and he had to do it, or at least try to look like he was going to do it. Otherwise, his cover could have been blown. But wow,
yeah.
really, really, really close.
And that's something that watching this or other movies similar that revolve around undercover cops. That must be the worst cop job that you can possibly get, going undercover, because that thing can mess you up in the brain, I would feel.
Oh, especially when they turn around, and you hear this all the time. You do those drug deals and shit like that, and one of the things you want to do, a lot of guys will put a cop on, you get a shipment of blow or crank or meth or whatever, and then they say, well, take a snoot, take a snoot because they're testing
Yeah,
you. They want to see where you're at. If you don't do it, then why aren't you? How come you're not partaking of this? You're gonna have to be really clever and really fast. Sit there and say, you know what? The old saying, users, sellers never use. That's why they're sellers and not buyers. But still,
yeah.
sometimes,
Or
sometimes those.
like they said in Scarface, you don't get high in your own supply.
That's right. That's right. Don't get high in your own supply. That's right. Otherwise you'd be saying hello to my little friend. Um, so yeah, so, so Wilson has to. They put him. They put him on the. They put him up to task, and he's not necessarily clean either. He does, and it's funny how they didn't really address this either, but they showed him taking bribes. Um, maybe not so much bribes, but like they're giving him money. Like here, you need some cash. Here you go,
Yeah.
have some. And then we see that Wilson at home, he's got a pot full of cash that he's gotten from the brothers for being part of their gang. Um, let's see. Watch 21
I
Jump
love.
Street. Are you talking about the? Are we
Yeah,
talking about the
21
TV
Jump Street
series?
also.
Um, yeah, you know what they probably do, Kevin. They probably do. They
I
probably have to do a tweet
did
here
find
and
it.
there. But what a scary job you have to do, or imagine being told that imagine being told to run down a mother or and the kid of a rival, and they're saying go ahead and run them down, unless they work with
Yeah,
us, and then being told after they agree to do it, then being told to well go ahead and do it anyway, and then you have to at least you. I don't know. What was really scary was like I don't know if he would have done it. I mean, he was going to do it until the brother called him off at the last minute. Archer called him off at the last minute, but it was like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
Is he actually going to run them over? Holy crow! And you really don't know about Wilson's loyalty, because they really make him sort of shady. Like he's not. He's very much walking the middle of the wire. He's taking money. He's not necessarily enjoying the job, uh, but he has to do certain things. Otherwise, the gang is going to they're going to start being suspicious. So that includes
I
like
think it was. I did think it was kind of smart of him that he was whatever money he got, he would just put away so that at least he wouldn't implicate himself that way. But still, the things he has to do to stay well with the guys is still kind of like ugh. That again. That kind of stuff is gonna haunt him no matter what. That's we will
well,
see.
I thought that the part two where he's calling, was his birthday, and he's calling all these friends up, and you notice that none of his friends really want to be around him because they see him as a gangster. So he's calling all these different ladies up to, hey, come out, hang out with us, hang out with me, stuff like
Yeah,
that. And all the girls they just don't want nothing to do with them. They're just like, nah, no, nah, we're good. And he's getting more and more desperate because he's seeing how alienated that he is. He's not really this person, but he can see how his role has alienated him from his friends. So luckily, though, an old friend named Judy, she was like, wow, okay, you called me, that's great. So they're gonna go hang out together for his birthday. So that shows his humanity a little bit. Um,
I also
uh,
like personally a personal the thing is I kind of like that he was drinking Heineken because I like Heineken, so I was like he drinks the same stuff I do.
we see the three brothers, Tony the Tiger, Archer, and okay, did it, Tiger, Tony, and Archer. They get confronted by Sam and his gang at a golf range. They're hitting drives, and
Yeah,
Sam rolls up with his gang, and over a busted deal, and they're caught uh, a little under strength, like 2 to 1. So
yeah,
the brothers, Tiger and Archer, they're a little bit outnumbered, and so they go ahead and they start fighting. They start fighting Sam and his gang, and then Tony, who's the leader of the gang, he comes over there and pretty much stops everybody because he's a much superior fighter. He establishes his fighting skills really quick. and so they're fighting, and the brothers, their own, they're not gang leaders yet, but they're the followers, but the leaders of their gang don't want them to fight Sam, and but the brothers are upset, and so they threaten their own leaders, we're taking this to the next level. You either you get in our way or not. If you get in our way, not so good for you. So they relent and let the brothers take more and more activity. Um, so yeah, so then the gang warfare starts, and Wilson and and Ma, they have words too, because of the fight at the nightclub, and of course Ma's tempers gets the best of them, and they're barking at each other on the beach before their boss comes over and tells them to knock it off. He knows that those two guys are closest brothers, but the job is starting to wear on them both. So he tells them to both to knock it off. They have to work together. They're partners, and of course, Wilson is just taking the brunt of it. He has to go in every single day, and he's risking his life. I mean, one false move, and that's it. And they're not going to just sit there and say kick him out of the gang. They're going to have him. He's going to lead the gang. In on 2, out by 6. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be good for him.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey Marie, how
And
are you?
again, we will see the fallout of it, but it's a really dangerous situation because not only is his life in danger, but even his personal life. That's why no one wants to hang out with him. That again, I was thinking of how that would play out, and it's a tough position to be in.
Yeah, it is. Sean's in the house. All right. I got to talk about the Phillies a little bit. The Phillies looking really good this year. I tuned into a Phillies baseball game and ended up watching a football game because all the points they were giving up. All right. I had to talk a little. I had to talk some shit. That's right. That's right. Okay. So yeah, I thought the way that you can definitely see the two Ma and Ma Wilson, that you can definitely see they've been friends for a while. They've worked together, and they care for each other, and we see a little later on just exactly how much Ma does care. Um, yeah, do we ever? So they're trying to stop this gang warfare, but it's actually starting to get worse. Um, and then what happens is they try to kill Sam in the car, uh, and they sent Tiger in to kill him, and the, man, they were slicing Sam up like a pizza. It
Yeah,
wasn't just a gun. Yeah, they had a meat cleaver. He was attacking with a meat cleaver.
yeah.
He just got messed up. Uh,
And that guy,
so
that guy was kind of tough because I thought for sure he would have cut his hand off, clean off when he did the first strike when he was paying the parking ticket or the
mhm.
parking entrance, and then he just jumps in and just starts. It looked like something from a slasher movie. How much he kept
It
just
did.
chopping
It
at
did.
the guy.
Yes, it did. It looked very much like that. Holy crap! It was brutal, and he manages to. I think the reason why he actually saved his life was the fact that he was bleeding so much, and so Tiger really couldn't grip him. He was sliding all over in the back seat. He kept on trying to cut the guy, and he really couldn't get into. He couldn't get a clean cut. But
Yeah, and then he got saved by Wilson as an excuse that we
yeah,
gotta get out of here. But
yeah.
Wilson is the one that's
Wilson
really
saved
saved
Sam's
him.
life.
Otherwise, he'd be dead.
Yeah, he saves his life by running the car backwards and screaming out to Tiger that the cops are coming. The cops are coming. So Tiger jumps in the car and they take off. And of course, Sam is taken into custody, protective custody, to save his life because he says he's going to testify. Um, so Sam's gonna testify against the three brothers. Um, but but the brothers are trying to. They're still trying to run business as usual, and that includes getting their money on the night of their mom's birthday. So they're going to recover their drug money, and then they're going to try to get out of there. But after a long, weird chase, Archer is actually busted by the cops. They actually bust Archer. So, and while that happens, at the same time, Tony and Tiger, Tony the Tiger, they discover that Wilson is a cop. They discover he's a cop, and Wilson, when they take Wilson's phone, and Wilson's phone gets a ring, and they take Wilson's phone, and Tony puts it up to his ear, but he doesn't say anything. But neither does Ma. Ma doesn't say anything. He knows that. He knows that. So when they answer the phone, instead of sitting there talking to each other, giving each other away, they say nothing. And finally, Tony says, "Hello, Inspector," and then Wilson jumps out of the car. He bails out because if he doesn't, he's a dead man. I couldn't understand that though. It was sort of weird seeing how he rolled out of the car. He rolled out of the car. He was like, okay, he was in good shape, and then he's in good shape, and it's like I don't know why. It's like you just don't get up and run down the hill. He stands in the damn. He stands there. He just stands there, and then he looks. Here comes Tony and Tony the Tiger, and they run his ass down. I mean they it was a surprise he didn't like they hit him full on, and he gets tossed down the hill. He's like, well, he's dead. But
Yeah, and
he
also
suffered. Yeah, that was weird.
his leg kind of got caught in under the car. So that looked really really painful. I don't know if that was practical, how that was done, but it looks like his leg bends the wrong way before being launched by the car and going down the hill.
Yeah, we have to talk about that a little bit about the Hong Kong stunts. I mean, because the world famous for like we are talking about Jackie Chan earlier. Jackie Chan is famous for doing his own stunts.
Yeah.
Tony Jaa does his own stunts. I mean, they do some crazy ass shit. I mean, the Raid Redemption, crazy ass stunts. Asian films, that's what they're known for. Not only great action movies, but a lot of their stars do their own stunts, and they do some crazy ass shit.
Do you think? It looks great on screen, and it looks painful. It looks very energetic. But do you think in the long run that's actually a good practice? Speaking like behind the scenes, because if someone I would imagine that if someone gets really hurt, they would have to stop production, and that would delay the movie a couple of weeks.
Well, that happens. I mean, we see that with Jackie Chan. He always shows the end of his movies. They always show outtakes of what he was doing. Probably not so much now because it's in the middle '60s, but back in his heyday, you would see all the different injuries that he would suffer. And he suffered a lot of them. Broken.
Yeah,
feet.
I think Jackie Chan has literally broken every bone in his body at this point.
I would not hesitate to say that is true. I think he's broken more bones in his body than Evil Knievel did. We're gonna say hi to Mr. Dan is in the house. Okay, let me see this. See, Star Lord says he just thought about Scarface, how Tony always called his girlfriend a tiger. Tony the Tiger. Our friend Genome is in the house. Dave, greetings. He does a Friday night hangout on his channel. He is actually very close to 1,000 as well. Very, very close. Last I looked, I think he's at I think he was like 12 short. So yeah.
Gonna share him out. See if we can get.
Yeah, we'll have to share him out. I'm not sure exactly. Let's see if I can go to his channel. Can I go to his channel? Oh. Let's see. Let me go. Hold on, guys. Let me go over here real quick and see if I can bring this channel up.
Yeah, I know. Hobbs in the middle of the week celebrated he finally was able to monetize. So big congrats to Hobbs as well.
Yeah, Hobbs is on his way to becoming a millionaire. He's going to become a YouTube millionaire. There's no reason why he can't either.
Yeah, with the way that I swear, even if I did reach that point, I don't think that they will allow anything.
Let's see. All right. He is at 990. Yeah. He deserves a push.
Yeah.
He does. He does. He does really good content. He does really good content. He's fun. All right, so let's drop Dave's. Let me drop Dave's channel right here, and I'm gonna put that there, and then I'm gonna pin it. That's what I'm learning how to do too. I learned how to do that. So there's our friend Dave right there. Gino Presents. If you want to go ahead and give him a follow, please do so. He's only 10 away from 1,000. So yeah, I think we can get him up to 1,000. Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do 1,000 for Dave while we're talking about Flashpoint.
Do it. Do it now. He's right there.
Do it. Do it now. And not only this, but Dave is actually super hyped that Trump got indicted. Hell yeah, that's what I like about Dave right there. This is exactly why he got, he enjoyed that. I know he did. Hell yeah. That's my man right there. Team Stormy. All right. Now Dave is down to 9 before he gets to 1,000. 9.
Rob.
9. Now Rob's in his video with his sub. Nice. So hit those second accounts and get Dave over by time we're doing our deep dive of Flashpoint. All right. So here we go.
I might open a side account for Zombie Huesitos. That way, you double the action.
Double the action. Double the pleasure. Double mint twins. I think I don't think anybody knows about that. So Wilson gets hit by a car. He gets thrown down the mountain, down the side of the hill. He gets messed up. He lands up in the hospital with all sorts of injuries. Yes, but Archer is Archer. He's been arrested. Well, he's in court, but he's being told that he's going to be being held, and he has to turn in all his travel documents, passport and all that good jazz, so that he doesn't leave the country. So he's waiting for a trial, and that's not going to happen until like 3 months later. So now he's going to go up to he's going to be facing trial. So Tiger and Tony decide what they need to do is they need to get rid of all the people that can connect Archer to them. So they go ahead and kill Sam and a lot of other witnesses, into the investigation. Tiger comes back to kill Sam, and this time he doesn't use a cleaver; he uses a shovel.
Yeah.
He beats them. I tell you one thing, they did a lot of overkill in this movie. Sam got overkilled, and so does Tiger later on. So they know that they have to stop Wilson because Wilson is probably the most damaging person against them. So, but he's in the hospital. He's in the hospital, so he's out. He's at home recuperating. And so a bunch of his police friends, including their leader, Inspector Wong, all come over to the house to have a meal and to celebrate Wilson coming back to duty. But Tony and Tiger, they have an idea. They're going to try to blow him up. So that's what happens. They put a bomb inside of a chicken, and then they deliver it. And then, I tell you what happened. They did a big snafu on this, and do you know what it was? There was something they did that was not right.
Well, they did a couple of things, but what do you referring to?
It was a huge blooper. In fact, when you see it, you start laughing because it's such a huge blooper. It's like, no. So the chicken So Inspector Wong, he picks up the chicken and he puts it it's in a tin foil. It's in a tin, man, a tin,
Ah,
a
yes.
tin container, and he puts it inside the microwave. Now, that's the first thing you learn about a microwave is you don't put anything metal inside a microwave. That will
No,
blow your ass up.
I thought
So
I thought you were going you were referring to the battery thing because you know how
no,
they're going to blow the chicken through remote control, then the
right,
battery falls out. I thought that seemed kind of out of tone. Not like this movie's for the most part been serious, this really gritty, violent movie, and then they throw that battery thing, and I'm like, well, that came out of nowhere.
well, when they put the chicken inside the microwave, that came out of nowhere, and that made me laugh, going like, no, just no. No one's gonna put no one's gonna. You can't put metal inside of a microwave. It's
No,
like
so yeah, let's take away the fact. Let's say that they would have removed it out of the aluminum thing and put the chicken asses on the microwave. The bomb would still have gone off because it's a microwave and it has a bomb inside.
right, but it would it would actually look a little bit more legit. But when they put the chicken inside there in the tin foil and they put it inside the microwave, you're sitting there laughing because it's like, all right, so obviously no one here has used a microwave before.
I guess not.
Um, so yes, Donnie Moss sees the bomber, but it's too late to do anything, and then he presses the button, and the inspector gets killed, and Judy, Wilson's girlfriend, she also gets injured. So now Wilson and Judy are both messed up.
Yeah.
Um,
It's at this point that I was starting to really feel bad for Wilson because he got
I feel sorry for
all the
Wilson.
stuff that he had to go through, and then being run over and falling down all that hill, and then having his girlfriend. I think they mentioned she was pregnant,
Yeah, she was
or
pregnant. He's like,
yeah.
what?
So
Yeah.
yeah, so she got messed up, and poor Wilson's there like, oh motherfucker, this has not been a good week.
Not been a good year. Okay, let's see. All right, let me go over here and catch up on the chat here. Uh, let's see. See, Dave's mentioning Donnie was so good in Iron Monkey and Ip Man. Hell yeah, Iron Monkey is amazing. Iron Monkey's so much fun. That's one that Quentin Tarantino presented. He had Rolling Thunder, and he was releasing a lot of martial arts films on that, and Iron Monkey was one of them.
Yeah,
I saw that on a midnight
that
movies.
was after Kill Bill, wasn't it? That they started really pushing for a lot of Hong Kong cinema.
Yeah, Star Lord says watch YouTube videos enough, you will find a way to put metal in a microwave without blowing it up. I'm gonna leave that up to you to do that, Star Lord. If you want to do that, show us the video. But I'm gonna stay away from that. I'm gonna, you know, maybe Dave can do it
Yeah,
with
I
one of his
know.
Dollar Tree. Maybe Dave can do it with one of his Dollar Tree. One of his food tests. Yeah, let's see if you can
I mean,
see if you can put that.
I almost blew my microwave when I bought one of those fast food burgers, but I didn't realize that, or I didn't notice that it had aluminum wrapping,
Yeah,
and I
help
put it
keep a.
on, and it started crackling and throwing chips and everything. I'm like, oh shit! And I had to turn off, and I had to buy a new microwave because of that snafu.
You did or did not?
No, I did, because everything
Oh,
got like short circuited on side.
oh man, that sucks. That sucks. But at least it didn't blow up. Uh,
Oh yeah.
so yeah, Stoller saying that they'll show without show. I'm not. Yeah, that's exactly right, Star Lord. I'm not believing that either. Shazam! Shazam! Yeah, all right. Um, fun, fun with microwaves. Okay. Anyway, back to our action-packed movie here. Yeah, so then the Tiger and Tony, they make a run at killing Wilson in the hospital. I was a little surprised by that because I'm thinking, they had minions, they had bad guys. Why didn't they run some minions in there to do it?
Well,
But they
they're
themselves
very
decide to
hands on. They look like that
yeah, I
old
guess
saying: "If you
so.
want something done right, do it yourself." So I guess that they live by that mantra.
That's right. You want the job done right? Great. Here's Tony the Tiger. So they disguise themselves as janitors to go into the hospital where Wilson is and Judy are being protected by the cops. Um, Donnie Yen, Ma, he and Tiger end up in the same elevator, and Tiger is starting to break. He's there, but he won't show. He didn't show his eyes, and Donnie, of course, that raises Donnie Yen's suspicion right away. And
Yeah,
and then the elevator opens up, and Wilson starts walking in, and he sees that it's Tiger, and he knows him because he knows him, and then Tiger starts pulling out a weapon, and then Donnie Yen proceeds to start fighting with him. And then I couldn't understand this at all. As this they show a woman cop going inside the elevator. She pulls her gun and walks inside the elevator, a very small container, and she has her gun out, and she's trying to shoot Tiger while those two are hand to hand. um I could not scream loud enough that this was absolutely like crazy. She must have been like her it must have been her first day on the job. As it turns
yeah,
out, it's also her last day. um
yeah.
but that was just so irresponsible for her to try to shoot somebody, and there's no way she can get a beat on Tiger. I don't even know why she put herself in that situation, and but she pays for it. Tiger shoots her dead. Um, and
Which
so
I
Donnie,
find kind of weird because I actually had to rewind it and watch it because I could have sworn she got hit in the shoulder, but
no,
she
she no, she
dropped
bought
dead.
it.
So,
Yeah, she bought it. She
yeah,
has that faraway look in her eyes. Um, so she buys the farm, and then and, it's really sad. So anyway, and it's a terrific fight.
oh
Um,
yeah,
as Ma is chasing after him, after he's chasing after Tiger, and they run and they run and run, and they go to a restaurant, and they turn around and they start, and they're chasing after each other, and
and I gotta
Donnie
say,
Yen.
I'm not gonna lie, I got a little winded just looking at these guys with all the running. They even had a little parkour there, which I thought was
Yeah,
really neat. But the amount of I get winded just going across the street at the store for for some stuff, and these guys were running like marathon levels.
I get tired. I get one to going down into the basement to get Cheetah food. Um, so Ma gets chased to Tiger, and they run inside this restaurant, and they run inside the restaurant, and to the fight. And Tony and Wilson's, they're scrambling at the hospital, and while they're doing that, they miss Tony walking in and kidnapping Judy. So Judy has been kidnapped, and meanwhile, Ma and Tiger are fighting, and Tiger makes the bad mistake of taking a little girl hostage. Takes her hostage, and initially it's like, Donnie Yen throws this gun away. He's like, okay, fine, just let the little girl go, and then you and I can solve this. But Tiger, he does something fatal. He takes the girl and he throws her. He
Oh
throws
yeah,
her. Yeah,
the strength on
yeah,
this guy to throw that girl as far as he did, and she glanced really bad on the concrete. But man, this guy's legit tough. He's got some
yeah.
strength on him.
He certainly did. And he's going to need every bit of it, which wasn't going to be enough because Ma sees what happens, and he comes back, and him and Tiger start fighting, and there's just no chance. Tiger has no chance at all. Donnie Yen is just on a mission, and he just starts seeing red, and he literally beats Tiger to death. He beats the stripes out of him.
Oh yeah,
He beats Yeah, he beat the sugar frosting off his ass. Um,
Yeah, that was brutal. And I'm watching that fight scene, and there's one shot where Donnie Yen punches him, punches Tiger in the face, and it looks like a legit punch. It doesn't. It looks like because
yeah,
even his face and jaw kind of like wiggles as he does. I'm like, oh my god, he actually legit punched him.
yeah. There's no wire fu in this movie. A lot of
Nope,
these
nope.
movies have all these crazy ass wire fu. This movie did not. This movie was based strictly on reality. This is what would happen if they would fight. This is a fight. So there's no wire fu here, and that made the fights a lot more effective. And surprisingly, Sue Hark, who always does all the fight scenes in all these movies, he did not do this movie. Neither did Sammo Hung, who you would thought, well, okay, who did the fight choreography? It was none other than Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen not only did he do the fight choreography, but he also won awards for his fight choreography.
Yeah, this
Uh,
this was amazing. I mean, yeah, sometimes it looked like it was a boxing match because the punches looked like they landed. Then it kind of looked
mm,
like UFC because he's kicking him. He has him locked down and he's kicking him, and those look like they hurt like hell. I mean, it's a really brutal scene. It's gonna be topped at the end, but this scene is just freaking amazing.
and the thing is, he doesn't use his own traditional style, like we mentioned before. Washu and Taekwondo. Taekwondo. He doesn't use either one of that. He is fighting mixed martial arts,
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, brilliant. Muay Thai, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I mean, he looks like a damn MMA fighter, a
Yes.
UFC fighter. And yes, the scenes here were just brutal. Um, the action is just crazy. It does look like they are literally legitimately fighting. I would like to see how they did that. Um,
I don't know because the dragon. Sorry. The Dragon Dynasty DVDs. Some of them don't have any special features, but the bigger movies do have. They were released in 2 disc sets. But I don't know if Flashpoint got a single or 2 disc release. Again, I don't own it, so I don't know. But I would love to see the special features, or maybe some sort of audio commentary on what went into these fight scenes because they look brutal.
all right, quick update. I'm not sure if he's still here or not, but now Dave, our friend Genome, is now only 7 away from 1,000. I can tell you right now that he is not up to 1,000 by the time we get done with this. I will definitely sign off and come back on to get a push for our friend Genome. I'm sure that we can
Yeah,
push him past 1,000.
yeah.
Sure, we could do
It's
that.
got to be a little over 1,000 because YouTube. I don't know. Whenever
Yeah,
it seems like whenever someone's getting high in the numbers, they do something weird and they start taking away
yeah.
subs. Even
You need
people
to get
that's
us like
already
10 or
subbed to
5.
someone, they unsub you for some reason. I don't know what it is about YouTube that they tend to do that when they see someone going up really fast.
Well, we'll get him up there. He's not that far away, and most everybody I know in my side of my YouTube, I'm sure they're not. They'll be able to sub to him. What'd you do, Professor?
I'm sorry.
Are you all right? Are you not choking? You're not choking on Corvesa now, are you?
No, 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 no. It's just allergy season starting to pick up, and even though I wear a mask, it does tend to hit me kind of hard. But I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay. So yeah, the fight in the restaurant, and unfortunately, Ma, he doesn't know about Judy being captured, but he ends up beating Tiger to death. It's savage. He beats him till he can't lift his arms anymore, and yeah, it was pretty shocking actually, and quite honestly, that if that had actually been the case, there's no way in hell that he's still on the force. He has too many complaints, and he killed a man. He basically murdered him.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was straight out murder. It's not like he lost his temper and he just. So it's really hard to really it's hard to really, at that time, you really have a hard, even though the guy deserved it, he deserved the beating. But
Yeah.
but he's a cop. He's supposed to be the law and order. He's supposed to be able to have control. And they show that he has no self control. They point that out in the movie. So Donnie Yen is like he's a cop, but you have not heard us say that he is a good cop, because quite honestly, he's really not. Wilson,
Yeah.
Wilson's a good cop.
Yeah.
I would say
I'm
Wilson
actually,
was more he was more of a real cop than Donnie Yen's was.
yeah,
Um,
because he doesn't.
so
Donnie Yen doesn't. It doesn't seem like he abuses his badge or anything. He's just like you said. He's just tired of the crime and maybe the corruption. He's like, well, these people don't give two rats' asses about the innocents. I'm not gonna give two rats' asses about the criminals. And he goes
yeah,
a little too far.
so yeah, see that's where you like imagine if what if Tiger had actually been the only man that knew, because they sometimes you see this in the movies, like somebody holds the hostage or something like that, and the only person that knows where the person is, he just killed him.
Oh yeah,
It's like I buried your loved one. All right, well here I'm going to shoot you. Okay, well then you don't know where I put her.
yeah,
You just killed me and her. Um, yeah, Black Mass is awesome. I agree with that.
yeah. And, I'm
So we
watching
do.
that, and I'm watching this movie, and I see that kill the guy. And again, watching mostly American movies, I was kind of expecting the scene where he gets chewed out by his supervisor, because there is
Mhm.
kind of a scene, but not not like in the office, like, oh ma, you're out of control. Give me your badge and gun and get out of here. You're suspended, and
Right.
then he takes matters into himself. But that doesn't happen in this one. I was like, huh. I was kind of expecting that,
Yeah.
but you didn't give it to me. You just went straight for the action. Well done, movie.
Of course, he does get told, and Wilson and him do get told that they're off the case. So,
Yeah,
so they're off the case. And then, of course, Wilson finds out that Judy's been captured, and so they say, Tony says that unless you don't have, if he testifies, she's dead. So you got to keep quiet. So he does. He stays quiet, and because he says, I don't want to, please don't hurt her. I'll do whatever you want. And he says, well, I want your silence. So he does, and of course, this releases Archer from custody. And so while Wilson is driving to try to deal for Judy, Ma comes from behind Archer and takes him out. And he takes him out really hard. I mean, he beats
oh
the poo
yeah,
out of him, but he doesn't kill him. He doesn't kill him. He knows he needs him alive. And then he gets on the phone to Tony, and he's basically saying, I know what you did. You got Judy. Well, now I got your brother. I got your brother, so we can make a trade for this. So Tony, he loves his brother, so he says, "All right, I'll do that." And of course, this leads us to our final fight. Um, Wilson goes out there and gets beaten to poop. Uh, this part was a little bit off-putting, a little bit, because Wilson comes out of the hospital. He's still limping. He's still banged up. He gets shot twice. He gets
yeah.
shot in one back. He gets shot in the shoulder. That guy would have been dead meat 6 ways to Sunday. He's almost treat him sort of like a Superman. Um, that guy would have been. He was just no way. And then he's going to come back. Then he's going to come back and try to rescue Ma. Um, that was a
Well,
little bit overkill for me. I was a little
maybe
overkill.
he was still high on morphine and painkillers, so
Maybe.
maybe that's why he didn't feel it.
And the thing, Judy, they showed Judy, her leg is severely broken. She's in
Oh yeah,
traction, as a matter of fact. She's in traction. So, as for her to actually get, like for them to take her out of the hospital, I don't see how that would have happened, because that girl would have been screaming the minute that he would have touched her leg, screaming.
yeah.
There's no way he's going to be able to take her out of the hospital though with a leg that badly broken. There's just no way. No. So
Yeah,
it's almost
and
just.
I was also questioning that kind of cliche, because it. But then
Mhm.
again, here in the grand old country of Mexico, that kind of stuff does happen, where people that are captured disappear. But I guess they have the same police force that we do here in Mexico. But I would think that a hospital, especially surrounded by cops that are trying to protect, witnesses, would be better protected.
Hmm. You would think so. Um, you would think that she would have been protected, but the distraction by with Tiger, everybody's following Tiger. They didn't see Tony come in and take. He came around the back way. But
I
there's just no
guess.
way that he was going to take Judy. I can see him capturing Wilson because Wilson had been, by time that we meet, it had been 3 months since he got wounded. And so, I can see him hopping around, getting around better. But Judy, no, she was messed up really bad.
Yeah, yeah,
So I just couldn't see that happening. But it does. And so Tony has Wilson and Judy, and Ma has Archer, and so they're gonna go ahead and make a trade, and they have a running firefight, and Ma actually stops a lot of the gang members. She pretty much defeats the whole gang member, and that includes killing Archer. Archer dies, so now
yeah,
it's just down to Tony and Ma, and Ma starts running after he starts running after Tony, and they run to an old abandoned village, like a two-story concrete building, and there they have a 10 to 12 minute final fight. I gotta tell you, this final fight was on point.
oh yeah,
Holy shit, this was an awesome fight. Oh my god, I'm watching the timeline. And I'm going like, man, there's not going to be enough time for them to do this fight. I think to remember this fight being a little long.
yeah.
It
The
is
same thing
long.
happened to me because it's a big third act at the end there because there's this shootout and then there's Ma trying to survive being basically overpowered, outgunned, and outnumbered, and then he takes care
Right.
of that. But I'm also watching at how much time is left, and I'm like, wait, there's like 10 minutes left. They're not going to be able to resolve this because I also remembered the fight being a lot longer. But yeah, they wrapped that fight up really quick, and it's a brutal fight.
It's a brutal fight and is definitely down to reality. Uh
Oh yeah,
uh uh yep, by the time you wake up tomorrow, you'll be over 1,000, Dave.
oh yeah.
Um yeah, we'll get you there. We'll get you there
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm gonna sub as soon as we're done because I can't run Streamyard at the same time, but I'll sub and I'll push him over too.
That's right. Push him over. Where are we at? Let me take a look before we talk about this final fight. Let's see. Wow, 994. So only six. We could do that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got coffee. I got coffee. I can do this. All right. So the final fight, what's really made the final fight, it was so realism. It's like it's a 10-minute final fight, but honestly, it should be 10 minutes. Anything longer than that, and you're going back to the usual wire foo, and and nobody's selling hits. Nobody's like, everybody takes a beating, and yet they still come back and fight. It's like one of those typical things you see in a lot of martial arts movies. The guys get hit like 20 times, and it's like Dragon Ball Z. That's all you got? I'll just power up.
yeah. And I
No,
also I wanted to just really briefly touch upon this before they get to that abandoned building. You know how they're running through the tall grass and Donnie Yen's trying to,
yeah.
like stick really close. I kind of like got vibes from Lost World, that Jurassic Park sequel, where they're running
Oh,
through the
yeah.
tall grass and the raptors picking them off. I kind of imagine Donnie Yen as a raptor just picking off people one by one
How
in the
about
tall grass.
how about the Mummy Returns
Oh
when
yeah, that one
they're
too.
running through that tall grass while all the pygmies are taking them out?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very much so. King Kong, 1976. They're running and they're
Also,
being taken out. Yes, there's a lot of there. Yeah. So they're running. They Tony and Ma face off. It is a brutal fight. That's it's brilliant. It's a brilliant fight. Choreographed in this one abandoned concrete building is brutal. Everything there is hard. I mean, it's an amazing fight. It's an
Yeah.
amazing fight.
And
Um,
I
Don,
like how it builds up because they're still using guns at the start. They're trying to outgun each other, and then they run out of bullets, and then we're like, well, guess we'll go mano a mano, and they start hitting each other, and then they're at both of them are at their last breath, and they're like, okay, jacket's coming off. This is getting serious, and so it's like an escalating. And it's like at the end when they take off their jacket, that's when they get really hardcore and really start wailing on each other.
I don't know. To me, it's like if you're sitting there and if you're Tony, and you start whipping Donnie Yen's ass in the first half of the fight, but then you see him get up and he's going like this, like come on, come on. And
Yeah,
it's just like, man, that'd be like to me. I'm like, well, maybe I should start thinking about giving up. Um, but especially and he has him. He works over Ma and he has Ma against a post, and he looks like he's vulnerable. But and then he manages to turn the tables, and then it's not just sudden, it's slow because they're
yeah,
still taking punishment. It's not like one of those. Like I said, it's not your typical Hong Kong movie where, like I said, it's like Dragon Ball Z. Like they take 20 punches and like they shake it off like that didn't hurt. Uh, every hit hurt, and we were talking about this scene before he went on. There's a scene where Donnie Yen is doing his mixed martial arts skills, fighting, and then Collin Chou picks him up and he drops him. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be on his shoulder, but
yeah.
he drops him on the back of the neck.
Oh yeah.
That is when you watch that scene, you are going to be scared. You're going to wonder how did they manage? How did he not manage to snap his neck? It's that bad. I mean, it's that scary. It's like, wow, that wasn't planned. Um,
No, no.
no, there's
That
no
was supposed to
way.
go one way, and his head went the other. And it looked. I am sure they cut and they took 1 or 2 days to go over the guy because that could not have been fun for him.
I had that movie Star Lord. I'm probably gonna end up watching it this week. Dragon Tiger Gate. I have that movie.
What I'd have to
Actually,
check because
I
that's
actually have
one
a lot
thing
of
about
Marvel.
these. Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed about a lot of these martial arts is that the title tends to change. You see it maybe on one DVD release with one name, but then you see it with a different name, and online has a different name. So
Well,
you really
I like it when they have
gotta watch
I
out
like
for
it when
what the
they have
titles.
that. I like it when they have they have Killzone, then they have Killzone 2, and Killzone 2
Yeah,
has nothing to do with Killzone 1. It's not the same
no,
characters. It's
it's
not
one of
the same.
those.
Yeah, they always do that. Uh, that cracks me up too. SPL 2 is like that has nothing to do with that first movie. Why? But they use the title to sell tickets.
Yeah,
Um, so we're fighting, and of course Donnie Yen gets finally he gets the upper hand, and he starts choking out Tony, but as he's choking him out, he relaxes. He feels him going unconscious. Whereas maybe before he would just kill him. He only knocks him out unconscious, and then he puts handcuffs on him and arrests him. He doesn't kill him.
now, do you think he did that because at that moment maybe a spark of consciousness kicked in and he didn't
Yeah,
want to kill yet another person,
yeah,
or
yeah.
did he do it so that he wouldn't get so he had someone to present as an arrest and not be in even more deep trouble for killing all the other people that he killed?
I think he did that for both. I think he had a second idea, like, okay, I'm not going to kill him. I choked him out. That's all I need to do. He doesn't know, and that's going in knowing that full well that he doesn't know that Wilson's next to death. I think if he would have saw Wilson get shot, another time, I think he might have killed him. But
Yeah.
I think he was trying to do the right thing. But in all honesty, I don't really see him keeping his job afterwards. I just
No.
don't. I feel as soon as this wrapped up, I think they would just they move him to traffic, or they move him to they move him out of the detective bureau.
Maybe a desk
He
job somewhere because
Yeah,
he killed
he killed a lot of
two
people.
of the brothers and a whole bunch of goons. So I counted at least like 8 or 9 dead people that he killed. So that's
Well,
a big
that's
body
in the
count.
gunfight. In the gunfight, I can understand that. I mean, because he's defending himself from a gunfight. But when you're talking
Yeah,
about hand to hand, then that's a little different. It's a little different. Like when you're up on somebody, when they're when you've beaten them, that's when you put the handcuffs on. You're superior, so you do that. But you just don't keep on slugging somebody afterwards. Then
yeah.
you don't
And
you don't.
he doesn't have the protection of his boss because he blew up with the chicken.
That's right. That's right. His boss got blown up by a chicken in tinfoil. Um, I love this movie, man. Overall, to wrap up our dive into this movie, I love this movie. I thought it was really cool. It's
Yeah,
really cool seeing some of the familiar faces. Uh, Collin Chou, like I mentioned before, that guy's just about in everything. He was in Forbidden Kingdom. He played the bad guy in Forbidden Kingdom that featured Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Good movie.
let's see what else is. I'll tell you what Collin Chou has done, because his career is very much as distinguished as the other ones are. Um, I mean, some of the movies that he's done, Ashes. I mean, he's actually been working since 1987, and some of the movies that Collin Chou has done, The Bodyguard from Beijing, Thunderbolt. Uh, uh, that's also another famous movie. Um, God of Gamblers 3, the early stage. Let's see. He, like I said, he's also in the Matrix movies, Matrix Reloaded, the Matrix Revolutions. He plays Seraph in that. He's
Mhm.
featured in Fearless, which was supposed to be Jet Li's last martial arts movie. Which he also popped up in DOA Dead or Alive. He played Hayate. Dead or Alive. That's a fun ass movie right there. I tell you that.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
and they made 3 of those, and the ending of Dead or Alive one kind of like closes the possibility for any sequels, but they made 2 more.
let's see. So I mean, Colin Childs he's had a terrific career. He's definitely a well-known star, and very much so. He's not. Gosh, he's 55 now. I'm looking at his page. He's 55 now. Um, so yeah. So I think, like I said, I like this movie quite a bit.
Yeah,
Highly
it's a good
recommend
one.
it. Um,
And again,
yeah,
it's if
I'm gonna
anyone
come back.
listen to this and you're interested in watching it, it's free on Tubi. It won't cost you a
Free
thing to
on
watch,
Tubi.
and it's amazing.
Yes, we will be coming back here because we're gonna wrap this up here right now. As soon as I asked the professor, I mean, what's your guys' favorite Donnie Yen movie? I'm curious to know about that. What's Donnie Yen? Oh, God, everybody's bailing out now. Um, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I think I scared everybody away by saying we're gonna wrap it up and then come back. Um, Holy cow! Well, we'll
There's
have to save that question for next week, I guess, when there's somebody here. I tell you what, why don't you just go ahead and tell us what's going on your channel, Professor?
well, right now, like I said, I gotta sit down and record the big thank you for the win on Horror YouTuber of the Month, and I gotta mention the nominees for that's April for May. Yes, I
Uh-huh.
already
Do,
have.
you- do you have
I
an
just
idea? Do you have an idea who you're going to nominate?
Yes, I have 2. I'm just waiting on basic Halloween Queen to see if she wants to renominate someone, and I will gladly do so. But I already have 2 mine, and then I'll maybe reach out to the community and see if they have any suggestion for the 4th one because I want to nominate 4, and
That's right.
that's what I'll do. And then I gotta find some time to start recording videos for the my individual action April. I'm gonna do not about the same as Martial Arts March, maybe 10 videos, and just spread them out throughout the month. plus whatever random movie I decide to review. So it's going to be another busy month in April. So you'll get
Yeah.
action April here at the Midnight Society, and also on my channel.
Rumor has it there might be some major news ahead for the Professor.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I think there's another group that is very much enamored of the Professor's skills, and I hear rumors that he might be doing some work with another group, which I hope it does because I know one of the shows that they're planning on, and I cannot think of a better person to hang out with that than you. That would be
oh.
an awesome show. And
Well,
so
no one's reached out to me, but I'll check my socials.
oh yeah,
One thing I
check
do have to
Instagram.
mention is that Professor Macabro doesn't really check his online social media on April Fools, because I've been burned a lot with news
Oh
that I'm
no, it
excited
wasn't. It
for
was
that
no. It
turns
was
out to be
no.
April Fools.
Oh no, it wasn't April Fools. No, no. It was funny though.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. I think the April Fools thing. I think it tricked our friend Brandon. He put out Brendan Slagle put out a April Fools saying that he was in negotiations to film a DC movie. They're
Oh.
going to do a Justice League movie, or no, The Brave and the Bold, and everybody was writing back, going like, "Yeah, we know it's April Fools, but in actuality, yeah, we can see you doing that. You should be doing that." And I think he was really surprised, but I think he really thought people would just like poke fun at him and laugh at, yeah, April Fools. But I think a lot of people, including myself, are going like, hell yeah, you could do that. You could, yeah, by all means, you could do Brave and the Bold. I would
Yeah.
trust
Yeah.
you with that. I mean, why not? He's innovative. Um, yeah. Oh, speaking of DC though, boy, but Jesus Christ, did they put the nail in DC in the DC AU or EU or what? Shazam, Fury of the Gods, tanking.
Oh yeah.
I
I
mean,
kind of saw that one coming.
this is like the worst superhero movie's return since. I mean, it's really bad. It's like it's barely made even $40 million back.
Yeah.
China's not going to save that movie. Uh,
No, no. I think it's gonna. I don't know if DC or Warner Brothers has any plans to release it in physical media. I think that's just gonna go to HBO Max and just die there.
Yeah, Warner Brothers will be doing physical release. They'll physical release
Okay.
that.
Well,
Yeah,
good.
they're yeah.
I actually
Um,
am happy to see some studios, not just the boutique distributors, actually release their movies. I'm still hoping Disney releases Prey on DVD or Blu-ray. I freaking want
I
that
think
movie.
I think that we will get. I think we'll get Prey for two. I think we'll get that by Black Friday. By this Black Friday, I think Disney will be up and running with physical releases. Yeah, and people want it. People keep on asking for it. Like what are you going to release it? We're going to release it. When are you going to release it?
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Donnie Yen, It Man. Yes, Yep, that's a great series too. What is the Mario Brothers horror movie coming out? Shit, that would be pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah.
That would be pretty amazing.
Do you know if well it happened with Winnie the Pooh, but do you think there'll come a point where Mary Poppins will enter the public domain and they'll start pumping horror movies out of that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess the Winnie the Pooh one got banned from China. China did not agree to air it. I think they were pretty much, yeah, I think they pretty much didn't like the idea of Winnie the Pooh becoming a horror character.
Okay.
Uh, you've recently heard about horror Mario Brothers. I don't know how they could do that. It's still active. I mean, it's like, it would be interesting. Yeah, I think some of these ones that they're running out of they're entering the public domain, that the rights holders are losing the rights. I think that's what we'll be seeing. We'll be seeing a lot of people do that. I don't necessarily
Yeah.
think it's necessarily a good thing though, because obviously look at the returns. I
Yeah.
mean, okay, so the mean one and yeah, and some of the and the Winnie the Pooh one and the Banana Splits one. I mean, they're working, but I don't know. I see it more like a trend or a fad than I do a, you know, I wouldn't think that you could count on it. Like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a box office gold. I
Yeah.
don't necessarily think so. It
Do
all
you think
depends too. Oh, go ahead.
Do you think something bigger like well, not Winnie the Pooh's pretty big, but something bigger like Lord of the Rings does will that would that fall in public
No,
domain?
God, no, not in our lifetime. No,
Okay.
not in our lifetime. No, I don't see that happen at all. They still the Tolkien. They've had the rights now, and they've been continuously. So you have to continuously write underneath the banner. So you have to be able to produce new content underneath that. And I'm not sure if it has to be a direct relative or what have you, in order to keep the rights. I'm still shocked that Disney lost the rights to Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is going to come out there and become and Winnie the Pooh. I thought I just thought they paid a licensing fee every year and they kept it underneath their control.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
pay a certain amount of money to the estate. Like we want to use Winnie the Pooh. Here's $2 million. Thank you for letting us use it for another year. And then but who knows
Yeah,
how that
because
works?
Winnie the Pooh was a staple for Disney for many, many years. They made TV shows, they made movies, they made that last Christopher Walken, Christopher Robin movie a while back.
More cowbell, more cowbell. I don't know, guys, but I gotta have that more cowbell.
This Winnie the Pooh. This Winnie the Pooh likes his honey.
I don't know who Winnie the Pooh is, but if he knows how to play cowbell, we just need more cowbell. Um, so we're back. We are back in April. We're doing 4 shows next week, and I'll tell you what they are, and then we'll let you guys get out of here. On the
Oh,
fourth, on
before you
Tuesday
do,
the fourth.
I didn't get to give my answer. The favorite
Go
Donnie
ahead.
Yen movie would definitely be all of the Ip Man movies. I really like his performance, and I really like his stunt work in that one. So my answer will be Ip Man.
Oh, is that what you're gonna be covering?
Yeah, no, no. You asked which one was our
Oh,
favorite Donnie Yen movie,
Donnie
and
Yen. Yeah, the Hitman series is awesome.
yeah. Did you know there's a
That's an
TV
awesome
show in
series.
that? I didn't know there was a TV show about that.
Yeah, yeah, but it wasn't Donnie Yen.
No.
No. So yeah, so that's yeah. All right. So here we go for the fourth on April 4th, Tuesday. We see the return of our friend actor Dennis Mallon. He'll be back here at 8 o'clock. Uh Dennis Dennis actually appeared on a Super Bowl commercial. Hey Jamie Hart, there she is. Yeah, he actually appeared on a national commercial during the Super Bowl.
Oh,
That's
nice.
exciting news. That's exciting. I can't wait to talk to him about that. And I know that he's working. In fact, he was working today on set. Um, so he'll be back here on the 8th, on 8 o'clock on the 4th. On the 5th of April, we will be talking to Tim Shockley. Tim Shockley is a convention, and wow, 32 hours. Wow, did you lose all your food? Damn. Did you lose all your food in your refrigerator and your freezer? That
Oh
sucks.
no. I hope everything's okay. It wasn't something too
Oh,
serious.
yeah, it sucks. So you lost everything. That's really crippling, especially get with food prices being the way they are. That
Oh no.
that's brutal. I'm sorry, JB. Um, so Tim Shockley, he owns the Green Goblin from the Maximum Overdrive, the in front of the truck. They have the Green Goblin mask on the truck. Well, he owns that, and he goes around the country to various horror conventions and car shows, and he displays the Green Goblin. I'm not sure what other cars he has, but I do know he has that one. So we're going to be talking about that piece.
Oh, I do have
And
the notification for that turned on, and I will be participating on your chat because I do want to ask him is if he's ever encountered some kind of problems with Marvel for displaying the Green Goblin truck.
yeah, I don't know how that worked out. I mean, I know he had the rights. I mean, obviously Stephen King got the rights for it because that's the movie he directed. So I'm
Yeah,
sure he got the. I'm sure he got the rights. And back then, Marvel would have gave up shit for a song. Marvel was in such
that's
dire
true.
financial straits. So Stephen King came out there and said, "Yeah, yeah, you can have the rights for if you know." I'm sure that's how he got it. I'm sure he got the rights before Marvel popped. Now, if he's trying to do that now, yeah, I wouldn't give him very much chances of doing that. It'd be way
Oh
too
heck no.
expensive. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about the Green Goblin, and we'll be talking about Tim, and find out which movie he likes best of Stephen King's, which books he has of Stephen King's, all sorts of stuff. I'm going to come with some good questions. On the 6th of April, Thursday, we see the return of another old friend. Michael Cassie will be here with us, film director Michael Cassie. He just put out his brand new novel. So we talking about his new novel, Between Heaven and 42nd and Broadway. That's going to be out along with his new movie. Is finally done and ready for being shown, and that is No Tears in Hell. He was filming that last time we talked to him. It is out and it's done. It's been scored. It's been post production, and now it's going to be start playing the festival. So that will be coming out, and we'll be talking to him about that. And then the big show of the week. They're all big, but this one a little bit bigger. On the 7th of April, on a Friday, we are talking to Marshall Teague. Marshall R. Teague. You might remember him. He played Jimmy on Roadhouse. He beat up Sam Elliott and Patrick Swayze before Patrick Swayze tore out his throat. But Marshall has also played in movies such as American Geddon that me and the professor both have.
I think I think we
And
probably are. I know there's a review of that by another YouTuber, but I think you and me might be the only people that own a copy of that.
yeah, I got mine for $1. I got mine for $1.50, and I bought it because it had Dina Meyer in it.
Yeah,
That's
same
the reason
here. That's the other reason I bought it.
I got it for Dina Meyer. I was surprised to see Anna Lynn McCord was in it and Marshall Teague was in it. I was like, oh wow, okay. And then I read
Yeah,
the
I thought.
history about the movie. Uh,
Yeah, I read the
yeah,
back and I
it's a
thought
weird
it would
movie.
be something like Red Dawn, and it's
Oh
something
no,
else. But I dug it.
it's yeah, it's sort of like if Larry the Pillow Guy made a movie. Um, yeah, but we'll talk to Marshall about that because you know what, it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting movie. I definitely want to know. I want to talk to him about it, and we are. I will be joined by special co-host Hobbs Hoare. He'll be joining me that night for when we interview Marshall, and we'll be
Yeah,
on at 8 o'clock. So I'm looking forward to it. Marshall is a really nice man. I've really enjoyed our discussion so far. I can't wait to actually talk to him face to face. Who knew I would ever get a chance to talk to him? I remember him mostly more for other than Roadhouse. What I remember more than anything else is the fact that he played 7 different bad guys on Walker Texas Ranger. I think he was the first bad guy in the first episode, and he was the last bad guy in the last episode.
nice.
So yeah, it's gonna be cool. Uh, so that's what's going on with the channel. Next week, we don't know what we're doing quite yet. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
We'll figure it out, and then I do know on the 16th we'll be back here, and we will be talking all things Wolf Warrior. Hell
Yes.
yes, and it's an
Yes, I actually
action-packed.
came across the sequel. There's a Wolf Warrior 2.
There is a
So
Wolf Warrior
there's
2.
2 of
It
them.
is it is a sequel too. It is a true sequel. Wolf Warrior set all sorts of box office records in China. It was like the #1 movie. It's like I don't know if it still is now, but when it came out, it's the #1 movie they ever made. I mean, they set records over all the American movies.
Nice.
I didn't know that until afterwards. I just got it and I was like, I got it for $1 at the over at the Family Video, and then I went home and watched it, and I was just blown away. I was like, this is such a badass movie. And then that was my first exposure to Wu Jing, Wing Ju. Holy
Yep.
shit, that guy's a badass. Yep, he was in of course he was in Killzone. He played
Yes.
Sammo Hung. He played Sammo Hung's right hand man, and him and Donnie Yen had a terrific fight in an alleyway. Um,
Yeah. Not
real quick
not
story
quite
about
Flashpoint, but
that.
it was still pretty good.
Yeah, a real quick story about that fight too. Um, they actually competed. They actually had a bet to see who could land the first hit. The
Really?
first hit, yes, yes. Wu Jing fought with a knife, uh, and Donnie Yen fought with a baton, and they had a contest to see who would hit who first. Wu Jing actually won that fight. He actually won that bet. He hit Donnie Yen first. Um, yeah. Hey, Katie, how are you? Are the newest member to the 500 Club, Katie? That's right. That's right. Um, all right, boys and girls, that is going to be it for us for the Business Society. I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to get some new coffee, and then I'm going to come back up, and then you guys can all come back, and then we're going to try to get our friend Dave and whoever else wants a few subs. We'll try to get them some subs too. Yeah, I'll go up for a couple hours and see if we can do this.
Okay.
So yeah, all right. So I will. Do you want to come back, Professor, or are we done? Are we saying goodbye to you, or are you going to come back?
I'll be in the chat. Yes, or
Okay.
if I can get my little gremlins to sleep early, I might be able to hang for a while. But if not, I'll definitely be in the chat.
Okay. I'll grab somebody from the chat, and if they want to come out and hang out with us while we do our push. We'll do it. If not, I will see some of you on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for our friend Dennis Mallon. Thanks
Yes.
so much, and we will talk at you soon. Peace.
Peace.
You're gonna like my idea.